Let's bring in someone for whom this is not his first rodeo. James Carville is with us. He, for the record, endorsed Senator Michael Bennet in the 2020 race. James, I guess, first of all, your beloved party is having some issues, kind of the opposite of what LSU did this year. If this isn't a mess in Iowa, as I said to Claire McCaskill, it'll do until the mess gets here.
Well, Fred, the other things that worry me, apparently the turnout in Iowa was not what I would expect it, other people would expect it. I know the numbers are still coming in, but people are telling me it's more like 2016, 2018. The polling averages have not been very good the last 10 days. And I've seen some pretty good polls that show enthusiasm among Democrats is not as high as we might like it. So there's something as people are watching this process that is concerning them. I do want to take the chance to congratulate Mayor Pete and his staff. That was a remarkable night that they had in Des Moines. But I think this is not going particularly well so far. And why is Tom Perez still the chairman of the Democratic National Committee? I have no idea. This party needs to wake up and make sure that we talk about things that are relevant to people. We need to go back to 2018, where we had good, diverse, strong candidates that had real connections to the community and talked about real things. We don't need to become the British Labour Party. That's a bad thing. It's not going well over there. So Democrats, and I want to see these candidates, and Mayor Pete's got something going. Hopefully Senator Warren can become that student at the University of Houston, that single mother that knows that plights that people go through. Who knows? Maybe Mayor Mike can come on. But right now, I got to tell you, I'm not very impressed.
I got to say, James, I'm amazed at how often I hear Democrats reminding other Democrats, if you don't win, none of it's worth anything.
Nothing. Without power, there's nothing. There's only one moral imperative in this country right now, and that is to beat Donald Trump. That's the only moral imperative. It's the only thing I want to hear. Until we understand that. We win every argument, Brian. We win an argument on anything. We don't win elections because we talk about stuff that is not relevant. We had a great experience in 2018, and the day after, we started all this goofy stuff. So hopefully we got time to jerk this thing back and be about health care and prescription drug prices and education and infrastructure and climate and diplomacy and rejuvenating, whatever it is. But this is not happening so far. And we can't act like this is going well. We can't come out and put 3 wonderful talking points. We need to, these campaigns have got to be more relevant. For God's sake, Senator Warren, get real out here and you know, let's move this thing along. And we got to do that.
Joe Biden barely fit on the graphic we have next to you. Came out of there 4th place last night. What do you make of Joe Biden and his campaign?
He has had an honorable life in politics, all right? This is just not the time. And so what's happened is he blocked out access from my guy Michael Bennet, from my dear friend Governor Bullock, blocked out access from Senator Booker. Probably some people that were going to run didn't run because he was in the race. And he's going to, maybe he'll come back, but he's going to have a difficult time. This is not a very good night for him, to say the least.
Who should chair the Democratic Party?
I don't know. Ask Nancy Pelosi. That's my idea. Come on, Speaker. We got to get somebody in there. Now, I think this thing in Milwaukee is not off to a good start. I see all kinds of things that are very concerning there. And also, I'm just looking at the mega polling averages. I'm looking at public opinion right now. And frankly, we got to snap back and get this thing going, or I don't even think about what would happen if we had 4 more years of Trump. But this is, so far, not so good. That's my analysis.
As I always say, you can't run a Whole Foods race in what I insist is still a Campbell's Soup nation. Ari Melber has a few questions for you. Ari?
Thank you, Brian. James, good to see you on a big night.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You look at the numbers we now have. More people showed up to their caucus sites, according to the new numbers, in the first alignment backing Bernie Sanders than anyone else. And after the alignments and yada, yada, as they say, he was basically now still vying for first with Pete Buttigieg. What does that tell you about the enduring strength of Bernie Sanders in this primary going into New Hampshire, where he did well last cycle? And are you the kind of Democrat that could get behind him if he's the nominee?
Well, I'll get behind him. Of course I vote for him. They don't have no choice. But look at the British Labour Party. I mean, we're like talking about people voting from jail cells. All right? We're talking about not having a border. I mean, come on, people. Every day people are out there struggling. We're trying to get votes in northern Wisconsin and western Pennsylvania.
You're concerned that you consider Bernie Sanders for open borders and for incarcerated people voting? Is that what you're...
He said that we should give people a ticket. All right? I'm saying what he said. If you read Ron Brownstein, he's got $35 trillion in spending, or read all of the thing. I'm saying, of course I would vote for him. But I don't want the Democratic Party of the United States to be the Labor Party of the United Kingdom.
And my other question, and then I think we're going to throw it back with all the panelists we have, our esteemed colleagues. My other question for you is Elizabeth Warren here. As mentioned, coming out above Joe Biden in these new numbers, finishing strong when people had said she might not, overperforming in Polk County, as mentioned. Right. We're watching more of those results coming in any hour or later, potentially. What do you think of her path to the nomination now?
The best bio I've seen in a presidential campaign. And she had a very good critique, which was that corruption is holding the country back. And for some reason, I don't know why, she decided to chase Bernie's left tail all over the country and became known for some exotic positions, let's say that, to put it mildly. And if she can get back to what she's about, now, I know her not well, but she's a very smart, obviously, she's very smart. I think she understands what's happening in the country, but you can talk about, what you talk about is your choice. And I just hope that she gets back to talking about being that afraid single mother, going to the University of Houston, working and knowing the struggles that people go through, and not be so technocratic or programmatic or anything else, but say, I have the skill to put this to work, you know, to improve your life. And I think that would be good. I love her daycare plan. I mean, she has some things that she can do. She's got a second win here. She better, you know, she's got to get serious.
James, you're about to hear from, in order, David Plouffe, Jason Johnson, and Claire McCaskill. So get comfortable, David.
James, good to see you.
Yes, sir.
So I want to go to the general election. I share your concern. I'm just, you know the Electoral College exceedingly well. Best case scenario for us, what states are in play, and do you fear if Sanders is our nominee, we're kind of down to a no margin for error race?
Okay, David, so let's Sanders our nominee. I'm going to vote for him, all right? And he does, and Speaker holds on to the House. Of course, we don't pick up the Senate. 18% of the United States elects 52%. That's our urban strategist. I have to remind them of that. You know what's going to change? Nothing. Bernie Sanders president, Mitch McConnell's majority leader, the Republicans control the federal courts. Come on, people, we got to have a big election here. We got to take the Senate back, and we should be able to do it. But we got to get relevant. And this is all something that is not working the way that it needs to work. And these candidates have got to develop some skill. And I don't criticize other people, other consultants, but some of this stuff they come up with is like insane. I don't know who thinks of this stuff.
So, James, I have a question. A lot of people are comparing him. I'm going to play devil's advocate here for Bernie Sanders being the nominee. A lot of people compare him to Jeremy Corbyn. I say he might be closer to Lopez Obrador in Mexico, somebody who manages to get into power because the existing parties have so disappointed everybody. People are disgusted with Democrats. They don't trust Republicans. They go for Bernie. Do you think that is a path to victory if he makes that argument?
Why do I think people are disgusted with Democrats? We had the highest turnout in 2018 since women were granted the right to vote. We had the biggest margin. We ran a smart campaign, and it worked. All right? It matters who the candidate is. It matters what a party chooses to talk about. I mean, I'm 75 years old. Why am I here doing this? Because I am scared to death. That's why. And we got to let's get relevant here, people, for sure.
Okay.
That's why I don't Lopez Obrador. All the Sanders people were taking pictures wishing Jeremy Corbyn the best.
Oh, and they were mistaken. They were very mistaken, yes.
Yeah, and I don't want to go down that path.
Okay, all I've got for you, James, is Claire.
Hey.
I just love you.
I love you too, and your analysis. If you look at the press corps went AOC crazy in the Iowa caucuses of liberal, it's too whatever, to combine the left side of the party. And I don't consider myself a liberal, by the way. I'm not a moderate, but they look, Senator Klobuchar and Buttigieg got a lot of votes. And we got to decide what we want to be. Do we want to be an ideological cult, or do we want to have a majoritarian instinct to be a majority party? I know where you stand on that, Senator, because you had to run in a red state.
Right.
So, and again, you and I know that 18% of the country elects 52 senators. And the urban core is not going to get it done. What we need is power. You understand? That's what this is about. Without power, you have nothing. You just have talking points. In the Marine Corps, they say, wish in one hand and do something in the other. Which hand is going to fill up the fastest? we better get serious here. And, a lot of Democrats around the country are concerned. I know these donors they're not going to give a popsicle to the DNC right now. I can promise you that.
James, we haven't talked since the holidays, and as I say goodbye, that was a hell of a football game.
It was really exciting. It was really fun. And, those kids, they're just a terrific bunch of young people. And they all doing really well. I'm terribly proud of them. And it was a good ride, Brian. And we'll see where it goes. But I just gotta sound the alarm here. I'm sorry.
Thank you for being with us, and thanks for sharing what you did.
Thank you, whole panel, and everything else. And Senator, I love you too.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. James Carville with us from the great state of Florida.